So we've come on a walk to a place called Bourton Combe. It's just outside Bristol. So it's really nice. It's really close to the house. It's only about a 20-minute drive away. So it's a nice, easy place to come to when we fancy a walk. It's a lovely day, winter. We've got snow on the ground. And really the main thing we like about this place is the woodland. There's just this most amazing ancient primary woodland here. It's a really nice place to walk through. If you come in the autumn, there's normally some spectacular mushrooms around. But we wanted to come down here mainly for a walk, but we've brought the camera as well. Because we thought it might be a good chance to try out some woodland photography. And the other thing is, at the end of this walk there's an area, it's a field that's left for conservation purposes, and one thing which I'm really keen to try my hand at this year is some owl photography. And going from memory, I think this field would probably be a great place to find owls, mainly because it's got woodland around it, both coniferous and deciduous, and the field itself is often left so that the grass can just grow. Which is ideal for owls because that sort of habitat is ideal for small mammals, rodents, voles, things like that, which the owls eat. So I think it's a good spot, or could be a good spot for owls. I'm not convinced whether, I don't know whether we'll see any today or not, but that's just another reason for coming out here is owls are something I would like to try and photograph this year, and we might see that in some vlogs if we're lucky. And yeah, but it's a nice walk, and sometimes it's nice just to have a walk and take the camera out as well. And if you get some photographs, great, and if you don't, then you've had a nice walk. So that's what we're doing today, and we'll see how we get on. So we're now in the wood. I think, to be honest, the light's not great for photography, but this is really a recce to try and, maybe see some compositions that we like, and then we can always come back later. And sometimes it's quite useful just to do that, because if you can sort of find a decent spot to take a photograph, but you can come back to when the time is right. So it basically saves you the time when you've got the perfect light for taking the photograph. So you can come back when the light is just right. And you don't have to waste lots of time running around trying to find the compositions, because by doing the recce you've already sussed out those positions. So Hannah was just taking a photo. I don't know if I caught that on camera or not. Hannah was just taking a photo on her phone of this spot. It's really nice. Just to show you what we're looking at. We've basically got these really nice moss-coloured trees. Moss-coloured? Got these really nice moss-covered trees, which are really beautiful. It's a nice dusting of snow as well at the moment, but that's not going to last because it's quite warm, so the snow is melting. But also all around me behind here we've got these rocks and covered in moss and these humps, and it's like something out of Jurassic Park, sort of prehistoric feeling. And this is what we meant by primary woodland. Is it primary woodland? Primary woodland.
Ancient. It's like
ancient.
A Celtic rainforest.
Yeah.
That's what I'd call it.
So this is, as Hannah says, this is ancient woodland. You've got old trees which are covered in moss, and it's really beautiful. But the lights
really
are certainly
good ecosystem. Lots of different species going on.
Yeah. So yeah, the light's not great, so we'll continue our walk, but we'll save this for later, and maybe come back another day when the light's a little bit better. So we've come to this spot here where there's this old tree that's bent right over the path, which is quite spectacular. Really interesting feature. And then underneath the path, obviously you've got the path which is creating the leading line up there too. So I thought this would make quite a nice image. The light isn't great, it's quite dark. But I'm going to take a shot anyway, and I can always use it as a guide for next time we come out, maybe when the light's a little bit better. But I do think it would make a really nice picture, so I've mucked around with trying to find a decent sort of composition here. And basically what I've gone for is I've got the tree sort of arching over, coming towards you, but then you've also got the path leading up as well. So we have these two leading lines, in a way, in the photo. There's a little dusting of snow as well over the moss, which I think is just giving it that really kind of special sort of feel about it. We'll see how it comes out, and we'll see how it turns out after the post-processing. But I think it could be quite an interesting shot. Settings-wise, what I've done, because the light's so low, despite the light being low, I've still got it on ISO 200, mainly because I don't want any noise in the shot. At ISO 100, the exposure was a little bit too long, although there's no wind. I did try taking a shot at ISO 100, but we're looking at a 13-second exposure with that, so it's maybe just a little bit too long. With the, let's just see what it is, it's 6 seconds long with a 200 ISO. So I've just put the ISO up to 200, so I'm not going to lose, it's not going to create too much noise with an ISO of 200. Aperture's at 13, basically because I want it to be sharp from front to back. I'm not going to focus stack it. If I was going to have a shot with a trunk really close up, what I might do is consider focus stacking that. So you take a series of shots where you focus on the foreground, then you take another shot where you focus on the middle ground, then a last shot where you focus on the distance, and then you stack those photos together. I don't think that's necessary here. I think that using an aperture of 13 is going to be high enough to help ensure that the image should be acceptably sharp throughout. But what I have done is I focused just about on that log over there, so I've focused about a third of the way into the shot, and hopefully that should provide a decent depth of field. So I'll go ahead and take the shot now, and we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, I'd like to come back when the light's better. It would be great to have some light hitting this tree or hitting this scene. At the moment it's very dull and very grey, so I'm not convinced that that's going to turn out too well. But this is a recce, so we'll see how it turns out anyway. Great. There we go. We'll see how that turns out later. Okay, so we've now reached the spot which I'm thinking might be a good spot for owls. And the reason I'm thinking that is, first of all, we've got these conifers over there, and then the wood which we just walked through is behind me over in that direction as well. And so we have basically woodland which is providing cover and nesting sites for the owls. And then we also have this area of grass which is still left fairly long. And this could be quite a good home for the small rodents, small mammals. And so I do think this is potentially a good spot for owls. We haven't seen any yet. We have seen a large bird which flew off just a bit too fast for me to see what it was. But our plan is to maybe just sit here for a few minutes to see if anything comes out. There's still a few walkers around as well, so that might be putting wildlife off. But our plan really is just to sit and hold up. The light's now dropped. It's a beautiful sunset. I don't know if you can see behind us over there. We've actually got Bristol right there behind us. Fantastic view of the city. So it's a wonderful place to come for a walk. Really beautiful spot. So yeah, we're just going to sit tight for a few minutes and just see if anything turns up. We'll go and hide in a bush. I think is the idea. And yeah, we'll see what turns up, but I'm not expecting to get any good photographs, but as I said, it's nice to have a recce like this from time to time, just to sort of scout out an area and see if it has potential as a place to come back to try and get some good shots. Hannah's probably laughing at me because I was poo-pooing her
This was
idea
the
of
very
recce's.
spot where I
Well.
came by myself and referred to having a recce. And Sam teased me relentlessly, saying, "What's the point in a recce?"
Yeah.
And now he is live on YouTube. Well, not live on YouTube.
Not
He
live
is-
on YouTube.
He is on YouTube recommending recce's. So,
Yeah, recce's, good things.
mm,
It's actually just an excuse for when you haven't got any good photographs.
Mm.
You can just say you're on a recce.
mm.
But no, they are useful. So, but yeah, we'll see how the photograph of the tree turns out as well. And it is absolutely stunning.
Are you allowed to say that? Isn't that copyrighted?
It might be copyrighted.
Yeah,
It's
it might be.
absolutely stunning. Yeah, no, it's certainly a good place to come. We've had a nice walk. We're going to sit here for a little while, wait for the light to drop, and then head back. But for the time being, if we don't get any more photos of owls, and if I don't do any more photographs, we'll say goodbye. So thanks for watching. And like I said, so owls is something which I'm hoping to do a bit more of. I'm quite keen to do some wildlife photography this year because it's not really something which I've done much, and it's Hannah's area and I basically want to steal it and creep in on her patch. So I'm going to be doing more of that this year, so there might be a few more videos hopefully where I'm get a bit of wildlife photography done, so we'll see how we get on. But yep, for now, please remember to subscribe, please click like in the button below, and we'll see you soon. Take care.